From the shadowed peaks of the Salt Lake Valley to the mist-covered banks of the Hudson Valley and all across the globe, the signal drifts through the night. This is Midnight Signals. Now, here are your hosts, Sergeant Shenanigator and Alien Mike.
Alien Mike, what's going on, man?
Another day in paradise. How are you?
Absolutely. I'm just out here living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Very nice. I'm trying to follow it now on Twitch as well.
Oh.
Making sure everything's working, so I think we're good to go.
All right, perfect.
So, how are you doing?
I know it's been 2 weeks since we've done live.
Yeah.
How are you doing over the last 2 weeks?
Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
All in all, it's been okay.
Hey, 50-50 is always a good number.
Yeah. Could be a lot worse, that's for sure.
It could be.
Yeah. But yeah, just trying to get ready for vacation. We leave week and a half.
I know. I'm kind of jealous about this one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
so
this is the festivals I love to go to involve the caber toss and some sheep bladder instruments.
Yep.
And I'm sure this year is going to be off the hook with the Tartan Army floating around.
Yeah, and that's really what's got me excited about it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one being pretty much the biggest Scottish festival in the world. So that I think there's going to be a lot of them that show up. So, but how are you doing?
I'm doing good. A little bittersweet today, but I'm doing good.
Oh, that's right. Today was your last day.
Today was my last day.
Wow.
Made some good friends there, but it's time to move on to the next chapter.
Are you excited to be going to this new place, or better yet, are you excited to be leaving the place you're at now?
No, I'm not excited to leave the place. It was a great place, but I am excited about where I'm going next.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's exciting, dude. I'm happy for you. I can't wait to see. Oh shit. One sec, my mouse is about to die.
Oh, good morning, Nadine. Welcome.
Nadine, how's it going?
Jumping on.
We need to see if we can make the chat on screen on the stage a little bit bigger. Either that or I need some glasses.
We can figure that out later.
Yeah. Yeah, not important right now.
No. So before we jump into it, Alien Mike is going on vacation. So next week we're going to do a special live to kind of keep the lives going.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
I wasn't going to until I looked over there and saw my calendar and went, oh, that's next week, isn't it?
Yep. Next week. So I'm not sure. Did we have something planned for it yet?
We do. We are doing some Revolutionary War ghost stories.
Ah, that's right. So yeah, it'll be a fun live since, I mean, I'm not 100% certain on how well Wi-Fi signal is going to be where I'm at. I didn't want to risk it, promising something and then getting there and being completely screwed.
So if the Wi-Fi signal is good there, I got a feeling we can probably expect a live here and there for a couple of minutes from Alien Mike. Showing us all the bagpipe players and probably doing kilt checks or something.
Thanks for wearing pants, Mike. Oh, I just saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you did just stand up, so you gave it away.
Yeah. Usually there's nothing on. At least that's what I lead everybody to believe.
Hey, keep them guessing. So what we got going on tonight, man?
So, I believe you titled it "The UFO Wars."
Yeah, I
And
did. Yep, the UFO Wars.
I like the name. I think it fit really well. We're doing Tehran, Iran,
Yep.
and Seoul, South Korea.
Yep.
So they both happened in 1976 within, what, 3 weeks, a month of each other, roughly?
Almost a month, 5 days short of a month, 4 days short of a month.
Okay, yeah, because Seoul was on October 14.
Yep.
That's when that. So that one was after or before?
Seoul was after.
Okay,
Tehran was in September.
Okay. I'm
And
glad that we chose to only pick one each because researching both of these would have been a nightmare.
the crazy part, I mean, we've already done the Battle of Los Angeles,
Yep.
and we talked about some of the things that they thought was going on. These two stories are actually really strange because, as far as countries go, Iran pretty much put everything out in the open and reported everything.
And
Seoul made it disappear.
yep. Paula, how is it going? Yeah, I mean, when we go back to our episode with Carl, Sweden, they talk about it nonstop. They tell everybody what's going on.
Oh yeah,
Then
this is one of the first times an actual military leader stepped up and said, "Hey, strange things have happened.
yeah,
I mean, we're not going to make stories and bury it."
yeah, and I'll get into that with Seoul, but that just, as I was researching it, I was reading through the stuff and I was like, oh, good, good, good. Are you kidding me? And the shit they said, they flat out, they lied.
No, big time.
And they swept it all under the kitchen rug and what about their day? And people are sitting back going, well, then how do we trust you if you're going to do this?
Yep. So we got some people watching us on YouTube right now. We got some people watching us on Facebook right now.
Yeah. So Paula I've known her for, oh God, about 20 years. When I very first started playing World of Warcraft, she was one of the first people that I had met.
Okay.
And so I play with her husband, and a couple of friends of ours that, yeah.
Well, Paula, welcome. Welcome to our version of chaos.
Sorry, I'm going through all the notes here. Or all the
I guess since Tehran started first, I can go ahead and start first.
Yeah, that works for me.
All right. So yeah, back in September 1976, September 19th, during this time, Iran was actually one of America's closest allies. This was before the 1979 religion that removed the Shah of Iran and put the Ayatollah in place. And at the time, the Imperial Iranian army flew some of the best aircraft outside of the U.S., including our own legendary F-4 Phantom II jet. And during this time, they were trained by their own Air Force, but the top pilots got to come over to the United States and train with our Air Force. So they got to learn some more advanced techniques. Anyway, back to September 19th, 1976, at 12:30 a.m., residents in northern Tehran began flooding police and the air base with reports of incredibly bright object over the city. Excuse me. At first, air traffic controllers just dismissed it. Then General Yousefi walked outside and he immediately realized that, I mean, this wasn't a star, this wasn't a helicopter, an aircraft in distress. He doesn't know what it was, but he knew it wasn't what they were reporting. Witnesses described it as a brilliant white light, flashing blue, flashing green, flashing red, and flashing orange. At the time, the object wasn't stationary. It moved rapidly across the skies, but unlike the current aircraft, it continued to change direction. It accelerated, then it stopped midair, then it started moving again. So, oh, excuse me. Wow. So General Yusefi decided that he was going to scramble some jets. So the first fighter launched from, and I am going to screw this name up. I apologize right off the bat. The Cherokee Air Force Base. So this pilot takes off and he's heading towards this object. And as he approached the object, everything except his engines died in his aircraft. He had no radio, no navigation, no instruments. I mean, he couldn't even contact anybody on, you couldn't even contact his backseater. So even the internal radio was down. The aircraft at that time was flying blind, and this pilot was very wise, and he decided to turn around and figure out what was going on before he engaged something with no controls. And as soon as he flew away, everything came back on. Everything was operating normally. The plane even landed safely. So at this point, they decided that they needed one of their top guys up there. And at the time, Major Parvez Jafari was one of Iran's top F-4 squadron commanders. And with him was Lieutenant Jalal Damarian. Neither one of this crew was not a rookie crew. These guys had been flying together for a while. And like I said, Major Jafari was at the time the top pilot and the squadron commander. So they take off, and unlike the first aircraft, Major Jafari was able to obtain a radar lock. He reported the radar return looked roughly the size of a tanker aircraft, so KC-141 or something like that. The target, according to him, the target was not invisible. He could clearly see that there was a target outside his windscreen. And it was physically present on the radar at the time. But as the F-4 closed the distance, the object accelerated away. So it wasn't accelerating super fast. It would accelerate just out of interception range and slow back down or stop. And at the time, Major Jafari thought that it was taunting him. So they tried to catch up to it again. And this is where it really started getting bizarre. According to Major Jafari, a small glowing object separated from the larger craft and accelerated directly towards his aircraft. And it wasn't slow. He said it was like an AIM-9 Sidewinder missile had been launched. And just as that object started coming after him, every critical system in his aircraft failed. So, I mean, he was basically flying a very, very expensive glider. I mean, he had nothing. He was unable to fire. He was finally able to break away from this object that was coming towards him. And as soon as he did, the systems all came back online. Hold on one second.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not showing that. Yeah. Thanks for joining and showing us the pictures. Appreciate it. Whatever they are. Luckily, my screen's small. I don't see what they are.
I can't tell. I know it's through Twitch. That's one of my friends, the one that suggested we use this program.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's your friend?
Yeah, but I can't. I'm blind as a bat, so I can't even see what I see. The name. That's all I can see.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Thanks for the photos. I wish we could see them. So anyway, the missile continued towards the fighter, and the whole time, Major Jafari and Lieutenant Demarian, sorry, I had to look his name back up again. They believed that there was a missile inbound, and they couldn't do anything about it. They tried evasive maneuvers, they tried everything, but instead of impacting the aircraft, the object just stopped. Then it turned around and returned back to the larger aircraft. On the ground at the time, witnesses see another object separate from the craft, and this one goes straight down to the ground. And it appeared to land near the Ray area of South Tehran. And ground observers reported seeing an intense flash, but none of them described it as an explosion or a fireball, just a brilliant white light. When police and other investigators searched the area, they didn't find anything. They didn't find a crater, debris, wreckage, nothing. But residents in the nearby area reported hearing loud sounds during the night throughout the entire neighborhood, but could never figure out what those sounds were. So back to Major Jafari, he's freaking out right now. So he turns around and he's heading back to the airfield. And as soon as he starts heading back to the airfield, everything returns back to normal. And at that moment, the aircraft kind of just flew away. Or the craft, whatever they were chasing, just sped away and disappeared. What made this story really fascinating, though, is Iran didn't hide what happened. I mean, it was in the newspapers the next day. The military was talking about it. The government was talking about it. The government was passing information to the U.S. National Security Agency, the CIA. They were trying to find answers, and they were not embarrassed about anything. And you know what? I've got to remember that I have pictures too.
Oh, there you go.
This isn't real pictures of the fight.
It'd be nice if it was that clear, wouldn't it?
Oh, it definitely would. So they're passing all this information on, and it ends up being a 3-page report from the National Security Agency talking about this. And this didn't just go through the NSA. This hit the president's desk, the FBI, the CIA, NSA, the DIA, any 3-letter alphabet agency you can imagine. This document hit them. And throughout the document, let me see if I can find the summary real quick.
Yeah, I can't even see it. Oh,
yeah, it's really hard to read. I tried to blow it up, and the bigger you blow it up, the worse it is to read.
Let's see. Paralyzing their weapons, electronic systems.
So,
budgets.
The author notes that the copies of this report were distributed to numerous high-level U.S. agencies, including the White House, the CIA, the Secretary of State, the DIA, Army, Navy, and Air Force Chiefs of Staff, European Command, Naval Forces, Middle East. And it talks about the incident, goes through the whole thing. And at the end, it came up with no conclusion. But they started speculating. And one of the speculations was that Major, oh geez, I forgot his name again.
Jafari. Yeah, Major Jafari and Lieutenant Demarian were chasing Jupiter. There's only one problem with that. Jupiter doesn't appear on radars normally. No. So
another possibility they came up with was equipment failure. At the time, F4s were known for electrical problems.
Yep.
Could this have been what it was? It's possible, but 2 aircraft experiencing the exact same critical failure of all functions on the same day within minutes of each other. Kind of doesn't
unlikely. I mean, Very unlikely that two are going to experience the same exact issue.
Some reported that Major Jafari was chasing a meteor. Again, this explanation just doesn't fit because meteors don't do U-turns in midair. They don't stop and hover for a few seconds. They don't break off a piece of the meteor and send it to chase another aircraft only to turn around and come back. And then the greatest one of all was, as you mentioned, when we were doing the pre-show, this is the height of the Cold War.
Yep.
So now it's coming out that some speculate that it was Soviet electronic warfare equipment. Or since they were our allies, it may have been classified U.S. technology. No way to ever prove that, but if they're our allies and we're flying something that they can spot on radar across their country, I believe we'd let them know.
Yeah.
And if we let them know, why would they report it?
There's just so much.
There were a lot of speculations out there.
Yeah, it's just
what this was. And there was never, even with the NSA trying to come to conclusions, there was no conclusion on the report. They just ended the report with, "Oh, we don't know."
Yeah. But the thing is, at least they came out with something. They said, "Look,
this is true.
We don't know." You know, they talk about it. You head to other places, and it's I don't get it. They just are afraid, which I don't understand why. Even being the height of the Cold War, I still don't understand why some of these places just refuse to talk about it. They and not just that, but flat out lie.
Yeah, so I don't get it. I mean, yeah, I get, back in the day, we were all lying about things that we saw.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times that even if you were a true believer, if somebody asked you, you'd say, "No, I don't believe in that."
Yeah. I mean,
why would you step up and say, "This is what we've seen. This is what we chased. This is what we tried to fire on," and lie about it?
Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, growing up, I've always believed that there was something else out there, but I'd never went past that in a conversation.
Okay.
Until I got older, and then my give a shit button broke. I just don't care anymore. And
my give a shit button turned into tattoos.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't care what people think. I mean, I know I'm a nut job. That is what it is.
So anyway, that's a quick rundown on the fight over Tehran. No rounds were fired in this one. They tried their best. They tried to fire the main guns. They tried to fire missiles. Absolutely nothing worked. Unofficial reports, there were people on the ground that were firing rifles into the air trying to hit it.
But that ain't going to do a dang bit of good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's an interesting story.
So, I mean, that's the quick one of the two stories. The next one, moving over to Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah. So when I know we talked about this before, but you suggested this, I said, great. All right. Which one do you want to do? I'll do Seoul. And afterwards you kind of giggled and I went, what the hell is he laughing at?
I knew what you were stepping into, man. And
see, the only thing I thought was what I'll get to, that quick little blip at the end that I called you about this morning. And I was like, okay, well, once I kind of assumed it wasn't what I thought it was, I didn't even bother looking into it until the last minute. But even without that, there was just so much into this one. So this one starts on the night of October 14th, 1976. In Seoul City, with a population of about 6 million people. Like you had mentioned, the Cold War has, at the height of the Cold War, it just reached, critical juncture. 2 months prior, American officers, there I screwed it up again, officers were killed at the DMZ in between North and South Korea. A month prior, a Soviet pilot had defected by landing a MiG-25 on a civilian runway in Japan.
So I'm going to stop right there for a second.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, we had a North Korean defect in a fighter jet while I was stationed there.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were all pretty much church-going guys that, of course we didn't drink, didn't do anything bad.
Right.
I can't keep a straight face.
Yeah, military, we never did anything bad.
That's right. I promise you, the pucker factor on that skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
You see a MiG come barreling across the DMZ from North Korea at treetop level, just flying as fast as it can.
Yep.
You start thinking your days are over.
Oh yeah.
And the incident you're talking about, was that the tree chopping incident where they were inside the DMV chopping a tree down?
Yeah.
That was a bad incident. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the 2 American officers or 2 months prior, American officers were axed to death. So they were cutting the trees and then they got brutally slain. It was.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
There's a give a shit button. Is that near the bucket with the fucks? Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Logan? How are you doing, bud? So.
And I'm sorry, your friend, her name is Bits. I'm fine.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, welcome.
It took me a while to figure that out. Twitch, they do everything. Well, your kids do it with the bits where you can donate or give bits to people.
Oh.
So that's
I was not going that direction with that.
Well,
name.
No, you don't. If you look at her other profiles, it's exactly where you went.
I was expecting a little snap with the circle.
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's if you.
I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of your name. That's just the way I went.
Yeah. No, if you look at the other profiles, that's exactly what it says.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, welcome to our chaos. Logan, welcome to our chaos.
Yeah. Her and Logan, they're both awesome. Yeah. So the whole place is just fucked. I mean, tensions are high. So, and I know I'm going to screw it up. It led to, so all of this ended up leading to the 1976 Chonghua Day, the Blue House UFO Incident. So it started just before sunset. People heading home from work, from school, families, sitting around the dinner table, kids playing games in the streets. When they look up and they see the lights. So in the darkening sky above, above central Seoul are, they think, 10 possibly more lights that are arranged in a semicircle, moving very slowly southeast, almost like they were in a formation. Sorry, I'm looking at 5 different things at once. They seem to be moving with a purpose, like they were intent on getting somewhere. The witnesses describe them as being bright and luminous bodies of light. Some of the witnesses think that it's just one single aircraft with its whole underbelly lit up. They describe like a chandelier. Others think it's North Korean fighter jets, and they think they're getting an invasion. There's an unverified story, and this is the part that I talked to you about earlier, that a Mr. Lee Soo-man, who was a young DJ hosting a show on NBC, and he had received a bunch of live call-ins from a bunch of different listeners describing what they were seeing, and he relayed their reports on the air in real time as it was happening. And then I did this for your lovely wife. If that name sounds familiar, he would later become the founder of SM Entertainment, the company that helped launch K-pop into the global phenomenon that it is.
There you go, Mrs. Shenanigator. Mike did that just for you.
I saw that and went, oh shit, I'm putting that in for sure. So, but tonight he's just a 23-year-old guy watching the switchboards light up with a bunch of calls from scared citizens not knowing what to do. So whatever's looming over Seoul, I mean, it's just getting started. The bright lights have now entered the P-73C zone, which is the outermost ring of Seoul's tightly controlled airspace. So there's 3 different zones around almost at the different color, the Blue House.
The Blue House.
Yeah, almost said similar.
Yeah, and while this is AI generated, that is basically what the Blue House looks like.
Oh, yeah, it's damn near spot on. So,
yeah, sorry. We looked up images of the actual attack, but there are none out there. So we had to depend on AI.
I expected Korea, China, Japan, they are very technologically advanced.
Oh, yeah.
More than we are, I'd say. And so I expected people to have some photo, some video of this, but I didn't run into any.
No.
So,
of course, 1976, you're looking at probably 8mm cameras and regular SLR cameras that nobody wants to shoot because then we got to go to the local photomat to have the film delivered or developed.
Yep. And it's just a pain. So like I said, the P-73 is, there's 3 different concentric circles. There's P-73A, which is right around the Blue House, and then B, which is a little bit wider, and then C, which is the outermost ring. So anybody that comes anywhere near these zones, they have to put in their flight plans. They got to let them know who exactly they are, what they're doing, why they're there, how long they're going to be there for, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and similar to the White House when we talked about
the drones,
UFOs over the White House.
Yeah,
you don't put in these requests the day of.
No, this is very far in advance.
Yes.
So, and like the White House, the Blue House is the presidential residence of Park Chung-hee. He's their military dictator. I don't even want to get into him, but he had survived multiple assassination attempts, and he ran the whole country like an absolute fortress.
He did.
So, and as I said, getting clearance to fly anywhere near inside of P-73 required submitting flight plans to Gimpo Airport, getting approval from air traffic control authorities, the Air Force Air Defense Control Center, as well as the Capitol Defense Command's Operations Center. It was, in essence, the most protected airspace on the Korean Peninsula. Man, I'm having trouble with words today.
I am too. It's wiping me out.
I don't get it. I'm reading it exactly how I wrote it.
Maybe it was all that speed and caffeine I did before I came upstairs. Okay, mostly just the caffeine.
It must have been. I mean, because, man, I don't get it. I'm reading it exactly how I wrote it, and I cannot even read that. So now something's inside of it without permission, without warning, and without a transponder signal that anyone could identify. The military ends up broadcasting 2 radio warnings on the international emergency frequencies. There's channel 1, which is the guard frequency, and that's 121.5 megahertz, and 125.3, which is channel 2. That's the military guard. So they are the standard identify yourself or turn back transmissions used when their airspace is invaded. But of course, the lights don't listen. They don't turn back. They continue heading east. When the lights pushes within 2 nautical miles of P-73B, which is the second tighter ring the 10th Air Defense Artillery Battalion of the Capital Defense Command opens fire. They fired a bunch of warning shots. The message that they were sending is unmistakable. You know, turn around, don't come anywhere near, get away. But still, nothing happens. It keeps going. And then it crosses into P-73B. So now they're heading straight toward A, which is the innermost zone. And
that's right over the front door and the roof of the Blue House.
Of their White House.
Yep. And I don't know if you saw this in your research. Not only is it their version of the White House, but as you're staring at it, like the picture just showed, as we're staring at it like that, the building to the right, I believe, is the National Defense Building, in charge of all the military.
Yep.
So yeah, you're not flying into something that's, you know, they gotta relay messages 3 different ways. You're flying into command headquarters for all of South Korea.
Oh yeah. Right. So at 6 p.m., the Air Force scrambles F-5A and F-5AE fighter jets from the 15th Special Mission Wing from just outside of Seoul. And on the ground, anti-aircraft crews are stationed on, which I thought it was funny how it worded it. It says, and on the ground, anti-aircraft crews stationed on multiple rooftops. So not on the ground, but on the ground. Around the city to visually identify the targets and so they can get into firing position.
Luckily, those anti-aircraft guns have all pretty much come down because of technology.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was their defense. Is on top of rooftops, they had guns and anti-aircraft guns and small surface-to-air missile launchers.
It was nuts what they had. So at around 6:12 p.m., they start firing. What the witnesses describe next is like something you would see in a war film, except that it's happening right over Seoul. Orange trace rounds from what they believe are the 20 millimeter Vulcan cannons tear through the sky in a crossfire pattern heading towards the lights above. People come out of the buildings, bystanders line the streets with their eyes fixed on the sky, wondering what's going on. Children doing the same thing. They've got their faces up against the windows, watching to see what's going on, to see if these lights go out. Nothing. And I always find it interesting in stories like this where shit hit the fan. It's popping off and everybody runs outside to stand around it. I'll never understand that. I mean, this was a while ago, but downtown Salt Lake with a buddy, and we were getting ready to head home. And all of a sudden there's a guy literally 20 yards from us. They start shooting at each other. And so me and him, of course, we back the hell up. We're out of there. You know, we don't want to be anywhere near that. And we watch all these people run towards it. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, that it doesn't make sense to me. So this is where the story pretty much stops making sense. The object is flying really slow and at a very low altitude. They're not supersonic targets that are doing very, evasive maneuvers by any conventional military logic. They shouldn't be hard to miss, but yet nothing's getting hit. They are just, I don't know if they had shitty aim or if it was deflecting it or what. I mean, it just did not get hit. They don't fire back or scatter either. The lights continue on their way. They don't speed away. They just simply maintain the formation and continue their cold, steady light and keep moving. At 6:20, as if, they decided that the engagement is beneath their interest, the object banks away from the Blue House and withdraws. The first official gun engagement ended 17 minutes later at about 6:37. And then the lights turn around and come back. And then another engagement begins with more traces, more orange fire. And again, after several minutes, the object retreats, this time to the northwest, and this time for good. By 6:45, the sky is completely empty, as if nothing had ever happened. In the chaos, anti-aircraft rounds that miss their targets, something goes up, it must come down.
Yep.
Stray fire in a city of millions of people, and according to the reports, 1 civilian died and 31 are wounded. And there's testimony from 2 firsthand witnesses that were there that night. Mr. Oh God, I'm gonna mess these names up. On Hee Suk and Mr. Wan, I'm gonna say. Both were in high school at the time. Hee Suk recalls it was probably around 6:10 p.m. Also, as the first anti-aircraft guns were being fired, lights could be seen. It was right next to the main road. It's the entrance or the field by the entrance. Many people were gathered at the entrance, buzzing with noise. And when I looked at the direction the objects in the sky, and this is word for word how it was translated, I saw white, bright lights. My hobby was looking at star charts and finding constellations, but looking closely. Hi, Chris. They weren't stars. They were arranged across Seoul at regular intervals, deployed in a formation surrounding the city, and the anti-aircraft guns were being fired from there. I remember there were about 12 of them, even if I didn't count them exactly that night. They were lights that were absolutely not stars, and they were moving slowly together toward central Seoul. They kept proceeding toward the direction of the Blue House. Originally right there, the Blue House, Sode Mun's, wow, Gunhwa Mountain area is right by the Blue House. I cannot say these words. Mr. Hee Suk testifies that there were a total of 3 rounds of anti-aircraft fire that day from around 5:30 to 6:40 p.m. He recalls that the scale of the second and third rounds were particularly large. He remembers the targets of that firing as 12 or so unidentifying flying luminous objects. However, in the papers delivered the next morning, the anti-aircraft fire was reduced to just 2 rounds, and the target was downsized to just 1, a lost aircraft. What Mr. Hee Suk saw and experienced is quite different from what the media reported. He vividly remembers that there were exactly 3 rounds in total. They weren't just firing from the mountain either. They were firing from various parts of Seoul. Just massive anti-aircraft fire frantically being fired from all directions. Mr. Daewon, who was heading home from school, recalls, and then his translation, I was heading home on a bus, and then they started firing again. After walking about 100 meters, something went thud, and that's when I collapsed. In that empty place, I thought, I've been shot. When I put my hand on my shoulder, blood was just flowing down like a stream. The anti-aircraft shell, over 2 centimeters in diameter, pierced the brim of my school cap, passed through the shoulder, and exited through my armpit. Aside from providing free treatment, the state gave no explanation whatsoever. Maybe someday I can learn more about why such a thing happened, why I had to be shot, and why they fired into a city where 6 million people live.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. So the next morning, South Korea's National Assembly officially convened an emergency session of the Defense Committee. The explanation offered by the Ministry of National Defense and the Ministry of Transportation is swift, clean, and tidy. Yeah, that's exactly
Famous
what I
last
thought while
words.
reading this. Yeah. Excuse me. So their explanation, a Northwest Airlines Boeing 707 cargo charter, Flight 902, had accidentally drifted off course and entered the restricted airspace over the Blue House. Warning shots were fired, and the plane promptly corrected its heading and left the Korean airspace. That's all. Nothing extraordinary. The newspapers print it, and the story is filed away. Except none of the witnesses buy it. A Boeing 707 flying slowly and silently enough to appear as a cluster of lights in a semicircular formation. An aircraft with a maximum speed barely breaking Mach 0.8. Not a stealth aircraft. It's not a drone. taking sustained 20 millimeter cannon fire for several minutes with no damage, flying over a restricted zone, not for seconds, but for over an hour. Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
No, and the continuation of that story is that the 707 supposedly, according to that report, landed in Tokyo safely.
Yeah.
No damage.
So I've got that coming up here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead.
No, you're fine. Let me see where I'm at. So, the detail that's most haunting: the lights didn't act like a plane that had accidentally wandered off course. They came back after the first official engagement. The lights turned around and returned to the restricted airspace for a second time. It was a maneuver that no pilot in their right mind would ever attempt after being shot at. They wouldn't come back. So the Northwest Air Traffic Control transcript, and this is where the story gets really strange, even to skeptics. The declassified U.S. congressional documents contain something that is very unexpected: an intercepted transcript of Seoul Departure Control's radio communications on the night of October 14th. Northwest Airlines Flight 902 is in that transcript. The ATC did mistakenly misdirect the aircraft towards P-73B airspace. At 6:08, they caught their error and redirected the plane back to its correct route. The Boeing 707 complied and left Korean airspace without an incident. So the government technically wasn't entirely lying. There was an airlines there, can't even read this. There was a Northwest Airlines navigation incident that night, but it happened before all of this. And then, yeah, it said it landed in Tokyo. Let's see. So here's the problem with trying to use that to explain everything away. All you have to do is just look at the timestamps. According to some of the witnesses, the South Korean military first began responding to the objects at around 5:30, more than 30 minutes before Northwest 902 even appears in the ATC transcripts. The last gun engagement, the one that began around 6:37, took place after Northwest 902 had already left the Seoul airspace entirely. The plane was gone, yet the military was clearly shooting at something. Whatever it was shooting at could not have been, Flight 902. It had already landed in Tokyo. So
yeah, and in another investigation, that plane did land in Japan, but not Tokyo.
Yeah, and I saw that too.
So I mean, the fact that there was a plane has never been disputed.
No.
The fact that they're blaming the plane on getting close to the Blue House, never been disputed.
No.
But that many anti-aircraft guns shooting at that plane,
it would have dropped it.
Yeah, there would have, even on the worst day, there would have been one round through something in that plane.
Yep. It's yeah, I don't know. And the fact that they just can lie about it and go, oh no, this is what happened, and how they can think their citizens are that stupid.
I did, and I didn't find it when I was researching this, but I did come up with a question. Maybe you found something.
Okay.
In Tehran, the report was electromagnetic interference. And I noticed that they did launch an aircraft, but the South Korean military has Osan Air Base right there, which is both U.S. and Korean.
Yep.
Why did they only launch one plane? So it got me wondering if there was electromagnetic interference on the ground keeping them from launching.
So that actually brings up a kind of the next thing, which I was really I didn't even want to talk about after our conversation this morning, or before our conversation this morning. So what got me wanting to do this was I was under the impression that there is a UFO that was too big to move that's in South Korea. And if you type in any search engine UFO too big to move, you will find it, and you will find the location that it's supposedly at. So they had built I've gotten conflicting reports. One, it was they buried it. Two was it was like a bunker carved into the side of the mountain. And three, they built a hangar over it because they couldn't move it. Now, if you look at the directions that the one over Seoul that I just talked about was moving, it's nowhere near where this base, or where they supposedly built the hangar. But some of the, here, let me open this other file up 1 second.
Sorry. Doing about 4 different things at once here.
You're totally fine. I'm trying to find out where I wrote it. Which for some reason I can't see. Oh, here it is. So with the one that's too big to move, the story often includes additional claims such as the craft emitted unusual electromagnetic effects. People working at the site experienced unexplained illnesses or psychological effects, and attempts to cut into the object failed because of the unknown material. So if they're having issues in Tehran with planes and they only launch one plane from South Korea, if this UFO, even if it's a different one that's in the general vicinity, if it's creating a big enough electromagnetic pulse, it could very well, prevent other planes from launching.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I was trying to find the place that they say it was buried so I could pull that up, but
it's
everything is news articles that we can't use or Google Maps.
Yeah. Do you have the? I know the name of it. It's let me just give me 1 second to pull it up because I can't find it right there. So
that's okay. We'll just keep talking.
Like Anyang He or something like that. If you just if you go to Google Earth and type it in, Anyang C, ANYANG-SI, you can find it. So, and it's from the map, it looks like it's probably, just guessing, and I could be way off, about 30 miles.
No, it's probably not even that far.
Yeah. It didn't seem like it was all that. So, but that's kind of, in a nutshell.
I promise I'm going to try and get this photo as quick as I can.
So in a nutshell, basically South Korea, they shot at something. The government tried to say it was a plane, but none of the timestamps work for it to be that plane they said. Which photo are you trying to find?
I think I found it. Give me just 1 second. I should have been doing this before we did the show, but
oh, that's fine. So
it wouldn't be our normal show if we were prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, that is true. I was prepared in one aspect and unprepared in others. Let me pull one other thing up here.
Yeah, I keep finding it, and it's all stuff that we can't use without violating copyright.
All right. So what I found.
But check it out. It is an incredible structure. They say that it's buried under.
And what's interesting about that structure is it is a military installation, but it's both an American and Korean. And when you look at the Google images of it, or Google Map images, it is literally one round building and then like 2 or 3 little tiny outbuildings just off to the side.
Yep.
And it's supposedly, if you I mean, you can go to YouTube and there's people that will walk up to the gate and video it.
Yeah. And the weird part is they built this huge platform that, I mean, you've seen it. You could park what, 60, 70 cars on there with no issue.
Yeah. So,
and the radar array that sits right in the center is no bigger than the size of my desk.
Yeah. One thing that I did hear, which I don't know, is, and this was via Reddit, who this user, his grandfather or uncle was there when all this happened. Said it was a hangar. The military, the base wasn't as big as it was, but there was a helipad is what it's sitting on. How true that is,
fairly big for a helipad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that thing, you could probably play an NBA basketball game on that thing with a small audience.
Oh yeah, the thing is massive.
Don't cheer too loud, you fall off the side and roll down the hill.
Yeah, when I first looked it up, I saw on Reddit a picture of what it looked like. And I was like, oh, so I just typed that into Google Earth and it went to Anyangsi. And then I just kind of, what the hell? I mean, you know, when you search something on Google Earth and it zooms right to where it's at, whatever the distance is that it is away from it, you can still see where it's at. So it's big enough that you can see, you know, from quite a distance.
Yeah.
But what I found really interesting about the Seoul one was most recently in 2023, like this incident hadn't been talked about for quite a long time. And it surfaced again in an international conversation. And it wasn't because they found any new evidence. It was because of Stephen Greer, who I liked when I first started seeing his stuff. And then I really didn't like him after a while. I would get too irritated listening. And now that I'm listening to a lot of his stuff again, I can kind of see where he's coming from on a lot of things.
Yeah, he does have a far-fetched imagination.
Yeah, and that's
a way of, you know, unlike us where we're telling you go out and find out for yourself, don't believe what we say. He wants you to pound it into you. You will believe me. Yeah.
The thing that really got me is he is too on the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, that makes him happy. Great. By all means, do it. But I had a hard time getting behind him with that.
If you can get over that, he's a very, very knowledgeable man on all of this.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So, and I didn't even know this, or I didn't remember it, and I listened to it, but it was in the wake of the whole David Grush whistleblower committee meeting hearing thing that they had in Congress, when he testified under oath that the government possessed craft and non-human biologics. And in an interview right after, Greer claimed that this secret facility exists on the outskirts of Seoul, built into a carved mountainside. And that's this UFO that's too big to be moved.
Yeah.
So
wasn't there another theory on where that UFO was? I mean, there have been a couple of theories. One of them was they hit it inside a mountain as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. So again, I didn't look up too much because in my brain, even though it's not too terribly far from the incident over Seoul that I talked about, the direction of where it is, this UFO that's too big, and the direction that, you know, the reports are saying the UFO over Seoul was flying, it wouldn't have lined up. It's over here and it was going off this way.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, well, that doesn't match up. I'm not going to research much into it. But it was the stuff I saw, it was all the general, you know, the same vicinity. One was they carved it into the mountainside. And the other was it got buried. And then the other one was they put the hangar over it, or the building over it. But I've also heard that the mountainside one is because it either tried to land or it crashed into the mountain. And so it was embedded in the mountain. And so they just carved more into there to keep it in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I believe in this whole thing. That's not my job. You guys go out and believe what you want. Yeah. But what I will say is it could be a distinct possibility that it crashes into a mountainside and ends up in a tunnel system of underground military bases.
Yep.
And I has nothing to do with UFOs or anything like that. But during my time, in South Korea, I had the opportunity to go to one of the secret underground military bases in the mountains in just north of Seoul a little bit. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you exactly where because it's still secret.
Right.
But it was an indoor city.
Oh, yeah.
It was 2 lanes of traffic, both directions. We were driving deuce and a halves down there. Tractor trailers were going through there. I was driving my commander in to attend a briefing, and you actually stop right at the door of the office that he's going to the briefing in, and they jump out. The whole time it's like a highway. Cars are going around you. You're stopped in front of a door. It's surreal.
Yeah, it's unreal what they have.
So is it possible that it could have crashed into a mountain and been buried there in one of the tunnels?
Yeah,
possibility.
Anything's possible. The only thing, I'm like you, you know, I may believe a certain thing, but I'm not going to push people one way or the other. You know, do what you want. You know, if you're interested, research it. The only thing I will say personally is, based on just the research I've done, I think in the beginning, I thought they were one and the same. It was the same UFO. But after research, I think it's 2 completely separate.
I think it is too.
I believe that they both happened.
I will be honest with you. I believe they both happened as well.
I do, but I also I don't.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't know if I believe it all happened exactly the way they're saying.
Yeah, but I remember we had this conversation with the battle over LA too.
Yep.
Regardless of what was there, something was there. We can rule out a 707 because even if it's 100 anti-aircraft rounds and not thousands, something's going to hit that plane.
Yep. Exactly. Especially 20 millimeter.
Yeah.
Vulcan cannons. Yeah.
Something is going to hit that plane. Even if it just goes through a wing, when it lands, they're going to find damage.
Yep.
And to me, it would have been more believable if the government said, yeah, it was a 707. And when it landed in Japan, there were some holes in the wings. Here's the pictures.
Yeah. But I still don't get why some places are like Iran are so open. Hey, this is what happened. This is what we know. And this is what we think. Here you go. And
for South Korea, it is the presidents since him have all been open to the possibility of UFOs and, you know,
Yeah.
Again, like our government, we don't know what it is, but it's there.
Yeah.
But from everything I read about that president, he was, I mean, he was a dictator.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Period.
See, the thing that I had a little bit of trouble with on this one was, and I don't mean this in any bad way, but because of the amount of people that live in these different Asian countries, there are a lot of names that are exactly the same. And so I started looking up the Park Chung-hee, or however you say his name. And like I said, this guy, he survived multiple assassination attempts, but then I kept running into one with the same name that was assassinated, and I can't tell if it's the same guy that he ended up getting assassinated. And but I mean, the point is, yeah, it's that he was a dictator. He was an ass. He seemed to run not as bad, but he seemed to run it almost like North Korea to a degree.
I remember reading when I did some study on South Korea while I was there. I did some reading and it made sense, but it didn't make sense. He felt like he needed to rule with an iron fist, because if you look at a map, North Korea is only about an hour from Seoul.
Oh yeah,
right? Maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's not far at all.
So his if I remember right, his claims were he had to be hard because he was protecting the 6 million people of Seoul and the rest of the people from in the country.
Yeah, which
I mean, it makes sense, but
yeah,
something like this happens.
See, and the only thing that
I'm sure even his people. I'm sorry.
Well, the only reason I could see them denying it or lying, because when you have a city, one dot in the whole country, and there's 6 million people in it, they can, I can see mass hysteria happening, especially at that time.
Yeah.
But it's, as we've learned now here in the States, for so long they didn't want to say anything about any of this because they were afraid that everybody was going to freak out. And has anybody really done that?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
And I believe that this happened, because you don't just light up the sky with anti-aircraft guns, because even the brand new private knows that, like you said, whatever goes up has to come down.
Yep.
So I believe something happened. And the only thing in my mind that keeps me from believing 100% is you can't keep soldiers quiet, Korean or American.
No.
And at the time, the American-Korean base was not that far away, and they had Korean Americans working at that radar array.
Mm-hmm.
So President Park Chung-hee says, you guys can never talk about this ever in your entire life. And I'm sorry, as an American soldier, I'm looking at the president of a foreign country going, yeah, whatever.
Yep.
What are you going to do to me?
It's I don't know. It all baffles me. I mean, I know something happened, but
yep. The only reason I wanted to do this episode was it goes along with the Battle of LA.
Yeah. Well,
and it was very intriguing. I mean,
I usually, when we research something, I will split it up, honestly, where I'm doing like a half hour here, 20 minutes there, just sporadically throughout. And this one I sat down, I did most of it in one shot.
Yeah.
Like I could not stop researching it. It was that fascinating.
Yeah. if you're a non-believer, hey, it works out great. You know, you believe that they were fighting, they were attacking something man-made, or I don't know, Russian-made, North Korean-made, I don't, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's still pretty big news.
Yeah.
You've got something flying over Seoul that slowly, that doesn't take any rounds at all. Doesn't, I mean, maybe it was shot down, maybe it wasn't. There's rumors, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. See, and the only rumor that I really came across was that it was shot down, or that this craft tried to land and got stuck, and that's one that's too big.
I could believe that, but what I'm saying is both locations, Seoul,
Mm-hmm.
hour and a half up the road, you're in North Korea.
Right.
Iran, granted, was our ally at the time, but how many countries surrounding Iran were anti-Western and hated America?
Yep.
So when you see something coming into your country, yeah, you light it the hell up.
Oh, yeah.
But then afterwards, to come up with a story like, well, it was a 707, we didn't hit it, and it landed safely in Japan.
That's just, to me, that's just absolutely asinine. It just...
Yeah, that gives you no faith in your military anymore.
No.
So you fired off 1,000 rounds and didn't hit anything that was treetop level, flying slower than any aircraft should fly, and you can't hit it.
Like we discussed in the pre-show, or maybe it was this morning, it was, I mean, if a 707 was flying that's stall speed.
Oh, yeah.
It would have fallen out of the sky.
Yep.
So.
And like you said at the beginning of the story, it was not flying at 45,000 feet. This was low enough where people could distinguish different light patterns. It could see shapes. I remember one person actually saying they think they saw windows in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just barely above treetop level.
Yeah. See, and you know, if I was the government and I had something happen, and then I had some people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I saw a UFO," you know, at first you're gonna be like, "Okay, whatever," and then another person comes up and says something similar and describes it. And then, as more and more people start coming out, I would start to go, "Okay, wait a minute. Maybe there's some truth to this, because all these random people are saying the exact same thing. They're all describing the one thing."
Yeah.
But yet they just still go on with the fishy story saying that it was Flight 902.
Yeah.
And
if you're going to come up with a fishy story, come up with something good.
Yeah.
Hey, this was a North Korean helicopter that flew in and we demolished it.
Yeah.
Because we're South Korea. We're better than North Korea, and our military is highly trained. The wreckage is over there. Have a good day.
Yep. I mean, and South Korea has one of the best militaries at the time.
They do now.
Yeah.
It was a little different back in '76, but
I mean, still, it was a good military, and you would think they'd know how to shoot.
That much I can tell you they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the transition period from the conscription army to where it was now a volunteer service. I mean, it's still conscription.
Yeah.
But you more people are volunteering for the military now rather than being drafted.
Yeah.
So I was right in between that transition, and I'll tell you right now, as much as we made fun of our Korean counterparts, they were the finest bunch of freaking war fighters you could find.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the only reason we made fun of them is because, well, we make fun of everybody in the military.
Yeah, there you go.
Ourselves.
Yep. So it just, there's things that just, I don't understand about it, that don't make sense to me.
Hmm.
But along the lines like, why the hell would you even say that? I mean,
Sure.
You're making people have absolutely zero faith in you.
Yeah.
But,
Now, zero faith that should be in me when I was a soldier in Korea, but that's a whole different story.
so,
I am the proud bearer of the award of least resistance in a hostile takeover of a military base. one Republic of Korean Special Forces NCO, he was a sergeant major, and one U.S. Army Special Forces major showed up at my MP desk after we'd been told, hey, we've got an exercise going on. They're going to try and infiltrate the base. Be on guard. These two showed up, and at the time, the MP base was also the one that provided barracks, so it was nothing uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
They came in, and they said, all right, we just need 2 rooms for the night. I said, okay. Got their rooms assigned, and they said, oh, by the way, we're the infiltrators, and your post is now taken over. Go ahead and call your MPs and tell them to return to station. Battle was over.
Oh shit.
Yep.
What do I do now?
Luckily, the post commander had a sense of humor, so he left me a little bit of my butt during the butt chewing.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine how bad.
Yeah, that was not my finest moment, but hey, officially, I guess I surrendered a base.
Yeah, there you go. Here you go. Take it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Frontline defender right here. You can sleep well tonight knowing that I was on guard at one point.
Just letting them all in. Come on in.
Yep. Come
You
on
need a
in.
place to sleep. Mess hall's over there.
That's right. You need a bed? Yeah, I know you're the enemy, but we got some really nice quarters over here. We'll put you up for the night. Maid
We've got
services there at 8 a.m.
There's a mint on your pillow too. Yeah. But yeah, this was a fun episode to do.
This was, and it for me, it brought back some fond memories because every place in the research for Seoul, I've never been to Tehran, so I can't reminisce about that. But every place that was mentioned during this, I've been to during my time in Korea. I've been all over Seoul. I've been, what is it? Ansong, Anyeong, Anyeong-si, Anyeong-si. Thank you. So Namdaemun, Itaewon, I've been all over the place. I've been to the Blue House. So it was fun reminiscing and in my mind seeing what I remember based on the story.
Yeah, it was really a fun story. I mean,
yeah,
like I said, I was ready to jump all over this because, a UFO that's too big to move. I got to see this. And then, like I said this morning, I started researching it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, wait, we're doing one that's like the Battle of Los Angeles, so I got to stick with this part of it. But I'm glad I did all of it. It was a lot of fun.
Yep, it sure was.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything else. I mean, oh wait, I did. Sorry, I knew there was something.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no yawning alien, Mike.
I've been up for 24 hours.
I should have had some coffee. I know you're drinking all sorts of energy drinks.
Yeah, I drink them and fall right asleep. It doesn't do. The only thing that will keep me awake if I drink it is tea. And I don't.
Sorry.
I don't get it.
I didn't have anything. I'd actually talked about the last thing. I completely forgot I did that. So,
well, that we're doing next week. We're going to do our live.
Yep, Revolutionary War ghost stories.
Okay.
And it's not going to be one specific state. We're just going to pick a couple of random ghost stories
and talk about it.
And tell you about them.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fun. Be prepared for that. Join us if you like.
So yeah, that's next Friday, the 3rd of July. I know some people will be heading out of town for this little celebration that they got going on. I forget what it's called now.
It's only 250 years. I mean, it's not I mean, it's
not
just,
like it's more than a century or so.
I know.
But if you happen to be in the area, tune in, check out some Revolutionary War stories in honor of America's 250th. Oh yeah, please go check out Colin at the Horrific Podcast. And
wait, hold on, let me get it up. There we go. I'm behind on my banners today.
Oh, yeah. So check out the Horrific Podcast and our good friend Colin over there.
Yep.
Still out there kicking butt and taking names and giving us some great advice when we talk.
Yeah.
And while you're checking out podcasts, if you're into outdoor stuff, check out Alien Mike and our good friend Carl over in Sweden. Check out their podcast, Skogan Outdoor Adventures. They might get into an episode one day on how to survive in the woods using just a shelter to hide from the alien invasion.
Yeah, there you go.
Never know.
You never know what we do.
And for all of those that heard the story about the psychic medium who said that there was going to be an alien invasion during the Scotland-Brazil game of the World Cup, didn't quite happen. Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No, so we're not leaving yet.
I don't have her name real close.
Is it
there
Long
was a
Island
psychic
medium?
that swore up and down during the game there was going to be an alien invasion of Earth. And I'm like, that's kind of a really oddly specific location to start an alien invasion in the middle of a soccer match.
In Miami, of all places.
Yeah, in Miami. But yeah, she's very disappointed because her prediction didn't come true, and now people aren't believing her.
It wasn't the Long Island medium, was it?
No, it wasn't. This is, I believe I want to say she's from Europe, but don't hold me to that. Got a weird name that I cannot remember right now.
All I know is I am still just raging because of that game.
Yeah, okay. When we talked about that, we were off the air on the 24th. You said, all right, I'm going to cut you loose because I'm going to go down and watch the game. But I guarantee in 10 minutes, I'm going to be so mad I turned it off. And I checked the time when we stopped talking. And then I checked the time again when I saw your post complaining about it. 8 minutes, man. 8 minutes.
So when I said I was going to watch that game, we're recording. I had it because we started to run a little bit late. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and pop it on. So I had it sitting right here. No sound. So while I was talking about stuff, I looked down and I was telling my cousin today, it took my all not to start screaming in the middle of this recording because it was 2-0. And then all of a sudden it was 3, but then it was a foul. So they took away a point and then they ended up getting it back. And I was going, oh, you got to be kidding me.
You know what the great part about it is, though? I mean, Scotland lost. That sucked.
Yeah.
But the Tartan Army has not given up. They're still out partying hard and having a great time. And I honestly think if Scotland were eliminated, none of them would go home.
No, they're still going to be here.
They're still going to be coning everything they can find.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, the supporters from both Scotland and Brazil in Miami were all out partying after the game all together.
Yeah,
you know, they just.
I think that I wanted to see a few soccer matches, and I've seen bits and pieces of some. But you know what I am finding really incredible, and my wife and I talked about this yesterday, that
they will leave when their vacation is over. Yep.
Yes, they will. So it is amazing to see America through their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've not been discouraged about being American. I've not been less patriotic about it, but something just hasn't felt right for a while. And no, It has nothing to do with the current administration. This has been going on for 5-6 years.
It's just different atmosphere right now.
Watching all of these people from around the world show up and start posting videos all over the place of their experience in America. I started seeing my own country through their eyes, and I'm like, wow, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
It's actually still quite beautiful.
Yeah. There's one gal that they interviewed towards the beginning of the World Cup that was from Scotland, and they asked, what were your thoughts? She goes, I was terrified because of everything that's going on that you hear on the news. And she goes, but I got off that plane in Boston, and this is the America that we were taught when we were little kids.
Yeah.
So it was nothing like I expected. I was terrified that there was going to be, immigration and ICE, customs, all this that was going to stop us from coming in, even though we were just coming for a soccer match. But everybody was so welcoming, and it's just been a great experience. So
it's rather been fascinating to see my own country through their eyes.
Yep.
It's like watching. It's like this is gonna be a bad analogy, but watching a newborn discover his or her toes.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here going, oh, it's Costco. Been to Costco, but now I'm seeing Costco through a Scotsman's eyes or a German's eyes, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow. That's a different perspective.
Yep.
And I love the fact that they're bringing their culture and their shenanigans with them.
Oh, yeah.
The coning, I am loving every minute of it. The Norwegian row is perfect.
Oh, that was awesome.
I can't remember what country it was, but they've got a few horses where they are, and they're riding in their old ancient regalia of armor. It's amazing to watch this, and both Mrs. Shenanigator and I are like, did this happen at previous World Cups? And I don't remember ever hearing about the party atmosphere they're finding now.
No,
I don't know, but I have not heard anything.
I haven't seen this I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it really started with Scotland, to be completely honest.
Oh, it did. The Tartan army takeover, and then everybody else started thinking, we need to do something too.
Yeah. I saw a recent interview with a guy from Boston because England finally came in to do their games, and there was a guy that was hooting and hollering saying that he's here now, England's coming, Scotland isn't going to blah, 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 blah. And this guy from Boston went, basically, shut the fuck up, dude. You're not going to win over this. You may throw a great party, but nobody else is going to come in and beat what Scotland did.
No.
So it's
anyway,
made me have a lot more pride for being Scottish.
It's pride for Scottish, American. I mean, I'm proud to be just a citizen of Earth right now. The way everybody is acting.
Yep.
I mean, we've got people that supposedly we're at war with that are here playing soccer and enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
So,
yep.
Anyway, probably enough on the World Cup, as we get enough of that news every day. But it is fascinating to see my own country through somebody else's eyes now.
Yep. If you talk about football, I'm with it all day long.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing that I'll continue to. So yeah. What have we got next? We've
already talked about the Revolutionary War ghost stories.
Revolutionary War ghost stories.
And then you're going to be on vacation, so our next podcast will be like the 18th, but we haven't come up with anything yet. We'll have something that day.
Yep. So that's what I wanted to say is not the next Saturday or next Friday we have one. The following one I'll be gone. So sorry to everybody in advance. That's why we're doing it a week early. But maybe you'll get a little live from me.
And a quick apology. Sergeant Shenanigator made a mistake yesterday. We were supposed to film the Signal of the Week yesterday because I have an appointment on Saturday. And I completely spaced it. But at the same time, both Alien Mike and I looked at the topic and thought, this does not need to be a recording. This needs to be a live episode.
Yeah, I've always thought it was going to be a live episode. But then when we talked about it this morning, I just could not. If I can't give it 110%.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't just do a half-assed.
Yeah, and the Mothman is so well documented that if we made a mistake, it would be noticed and people would be calling us out.
Oh, yeah. Hey, maybe that's a way to get more viewers, though.
A little bit of clickbaiting in there?
Just start throwing random facts.
Yeah, like Seoul is located like 12 nautical miles south of Tokyo. Nope, the numbers didn't increase.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
What else we got? Oh, like, subscribe, and share. Please hit those buttons.
Yes. Oh,
you know, that little blorp button over there. It looks like a bell. Beat the crap out of that thing. So,
yeah.
So I had to look over to make sure it did look like a bell. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I haven't. I don't ever have YouTube up, so I don't know what it looks like, to be honest.
So yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a thumb down.
Yeah.
Comment. Give us a comment. Tell us you hate our guts. We don't care.
Yeah. That would, from what I'm gathering from watching a lot of different people, even if you just comment something like good episode or change this or thanks, or even saying hello, that adds to it. And the more comments, the more it gets out there.
Yeah. And trust me, we read all the comments and we try and respond to them. The comments that come up live during the show, kind of hard to see every one of them because sometimes they come in so fast. But just know we read every comment. We respond as much as we can to every comment.
Yep.
Just don't give trolls a whole lot of info.
Yeah, I heard the greatest analogy for that from someone today. They said, I used to get all up in arms and argue with people on social media, but I look at it like this. Remember in school, you have just the regular school classes, and then you have like the AP, advanced placement classes. And you remember arguing with those kids, and you just never see eye to eye because one person is generally smarter than the other. It just doesn't ever work out. That's how it is arguing with people online. You don't know. They could be smarter than you. You could be smarter than them. You're never going to see eye to eye, so there's no point.
No, and you know, I'll be upfront and transparent. I used to be a troll many years ago.
I've done it.
But nowadays it's just not worth it. I'm not going to change your opinion. You're not going to change mine. But honestly, if you guys find that we were wrong on something,
tell
us. I will be the first to go, hey, we screwed up. I'm wrong.
Yeah, I will. I'll admit I'm wrong anytime. It don't matter to me.
But if you come out and say the gray beard makes me look old, oh no, wait, I'll agree with you on that one.
My gray beard looks nice.
Oh, your gray beard looks magnificent. My gray beard looks like I just came out of the cemetery from picking my own plot that should have been used 3 days ago. Oh, well, I like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So I think that's all I've got. What do you got?
That's it for me.
All right. Well,
I think I'm good.
We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And until the next time, stay spooky.
And keep watching the skies.